is good. Hello, how's everybody doing? Monday vibe. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you all woke up and feeling blessed today and know that you are connected with the most divine that is within you, and the whole world belongs to you. So today I wanted to talk about the void inside. Most of us, anybody on a spiritual journey, has felt the void in our lives, and a lot of us have experimented with a lot of worldly things. Let me turn this down. We've experienced with a lot of worldly things, such as drugs, alcohol, sex, money, power, shopping, exercise, anything that we're doing too excessively, just trying to fill that hole inside of us. Relationships, codependency, right? So we try to fill this hole with all these things. And in reality, all that it leaves us with is wanting more. The real chase on the other side is more of this, more of that, whatever it is that we are chasing. And the only thing that truly fully satisfies the soul is the source, is God, is wanting your own personal relationship with God. The hole that we have is a God-shaped hole. The void that we are trying to fill is the place where God, our Creator, fits perfectly. And when we are following and being obedient to His commands, to His commands of our heart, His commands of which direction we should go when we make a choice. Because we have the other voice as well, right? The other voice that would be like, no, come back to this. Come back to this destruction. Come back to messing your life up and your health up and your lifespan, whatever. I mean, it's a lot of these things that I'm speaking on, these worldly things that we try to fill our soul with, only deteriorate us. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, leaving us empty. Only wanting more. Every worldly thing that I've tried to fill this hole with so many things because I've always felt like I had a hole inside of me that I was trying to fill. And I just kept stacking things on top of my pain because I never wanted to actually face my healing, the healing from my trauma in my past. So I never wanted to face that, so I just stacked a bunch of addictions and exercise and work and money and power and whatever I could put to not have to deal with and think about, that thing that I didn't want to have to face. But eventually we all have to come to a point where we're healing fractured parts of the soul. Just think of your soul being fragmented in pieces all over the place. And we're trying to piece it back together as we grow in a spiritual life. Even me and anybody that's a spiritual teacher is still spiritually growing themselves. Or they should be, because that is how you teach your people more. That's how you become a teacher, is by continuing to stay in God's Word, to stay in His commands, to take your time to silence your mind and go out into nature. Speak to God. Look up to the sky, the stars, and say, God, hey, and sometimes God will feel distant. I want you to know that. God will feel distant. He's always with us, but sometimes He takes a step back to watch to see what you're going to do. To see what kind of choice you're going to make, to build your character. He's giving you the opportunity. That's why He takes a step back. He's still right. He goes before us, behind us, beside us. He's within us. But still, He'll take a step back to see what you're going to do with the decision. And sometimes He'll be right there in your face, being like, no, this ain't good. You shouldn't be doing this. You already know better. We can never fill that void enough with worldly things. It's just impossible. I like this jam. But it's just impossible. And you remember Lot's wife. You know, they were running from the city of Sodom that was being burnt with fiery sulfur balls. And she looked back and she turned into a pillar of salt. When the Lord commanded for them to not look back, she looked back at her old life. Don't look back at your old life. You're a new creation. Don't look back. We have to lose our old self to become the new self every day. Lose the yesterday you. This is a today, now you. Now is your time. Now is your opportunity to make the choice that better serves your higher being, your higher self, and God. It serves God as well. As you're serving and caring for your own health and well-being and making the right choices and giving that back to other people. Always remember that if we keep what we learn inside for only ourselves, that it can have physical even effects upon your body that are detrimental. I mean, I literally believe this, that if you withhold knowledge that could help another person, another soul to fight in such a dark world, do it. What can it hurt? Tell them. Share. Just share. Everybody I speak with, I mean, when I'm paying bills, when I'm greeting the mailman, whoever it is, they're getting a conversation. I'm going to try to spark a conversation at least with them. Hey, how's your day going? You know, boom, and then it starts from there. And then kind of you get to feel a little bit of humanity, you know. And what we're really here to do is to serve one another in love and compassion. That is what when every person, like I said, religion's a man-made thing. It's not a God-made thing. So, you know, the characteristics of God are in a lot of religions. But when you are chasing a spiritual path, whatever path that may be, you're going to come to a point where you start to believe that unity is the sole purpose of the collective. Is to bring everything together and let it flow. It's going to flow in harmony anyway. It will make do with our bad choices, with the way humanity is today. But there's still hope. There's always hope. That's one thing. And they say that hope could be a disease, you know. But I will never give up on hope because I know that my God, He's a generational God. He always was, He is today, and He always will be. So I know that I could just be a part of His generational plot. And that's okay. I'm fine with that. That's what I'm here for. That's what you're here for. To humble ourselves. To understand that we are here to serve a God that is greater than we even know. That has a love for you greater than you may even know. So much that He has given a Son in your place, which I believe was a blood sacrifice to make us right with God again. With the sanctified God. I believe that human blood sacrifice from a soul that was living the life of Jesus would have paid the price to this God that I read about. And I've read about Him in many different religions. It's not a man-made thing. I mean, religion is a man-made thing, you know, so it has flaws in it, obviously. But God's characteristics are within spiritual text. But God is love. God is unity. God is looking at another being and seeing a reflection of yourself. You know, to be able to admit that we all have brokenness inside of us and to bring that together so that we can all heal one another, because you have parts of my healing. I have parts of other people's healing processes. You know, there's other people out there that I learn from and books that I read from that I learn a new perspective and a new way to heal, a new way to become a bigger and better version of me. And that's what I want for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day. May light fill your spirit, may peace fill your minds, and may love fill your hearts always. You can't fill that hole with anything. It's a God-shaped hole, I'm telling you. the only thing that fully satisfies. Everything else in the world will just want you leaving more. Thank you.